I'm just wondering where the big ones are. Wes has caught some giants in this pond. They're eluding me today. Gosh, there's one. There's one. There's one. Oh my gosh. Big one. Big one. Big one. That camera's about to die too. Holy cow. Well, how's it going, folks? Welcome back to 200 Ponds. Today we are back in Florida. You've seen my channel kind of hop back and forth from Texas to Florida. I don't want to have a bunch of Florida videos in a row because I want to give you guys some variety, but I'm excited because today we're at a pond with a subscriber named Wes who told me he catches absolute giants in this pond. It's a relatively standard looking Florida pond, but the fish are not standard. So of course we're gonna have a good time, teach you guys everything I learned. Let's get down to pond number 114. So as we walk down to pond 114, let's talk conditions real quick. It looks like water clarity is pretty dang clear. As with most South Florida ponds, the bottom composition is sand. There might be some aquatic vegetation out there, but he said it's mostly just shoreline grass. So in this instance, the fish are just kind of nomadic, or they are relating to structure, as in changes in the bottom composition down there. And so more than likely it's gonna be a covering water sort of thing. So I've got 3 lures for that. I've got a red eye shad. It's actually the 1/4 ounce one. I'm throwing it on the Lew's Traveler spinning rod. It's a 3-piece rod that I brought with me. I bought these rods, the Carbon Fire, but this one I brought with me, and I don't normally throw a lipless on a spinning rod, but that one's light enough. And then I've got 2 main staples for me here in Florida. I've got the 5-inch line through paddle tail, and I have the Thunder Cricket in black and blue with a little June bug trailer, because you can't go wrong with those in Florida. Conditions for the sky, we got clear sky. Well, I guess somewhat clear, a little bit of fog. It'll burn off here in a second, and as of right now, 0 wind. So it may be like you gotta kind of drag slowly, finesse sort of thing, or there's just enough bass in here, they're gonna bite whatever. So this video is brought to you as always by Evolution Fishing. I've got the largemouth bag here. You can use code TRF2025 to save 20% on your order. They've got tackle bags and line solutions and all kinds of stuff, and some secrets that maybe by the time this video drops, they've released. But we've got lots of cool products. So if you want a discount, I'll leave it down below. Now, I'm gonna start fishing. Make the inaugural cast. Look at that, no backlash. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fell about 7 seconds, so that should be about 5 feet deep out there. And sometimes near the beginning of my fishing days, I don't mind if I actually not get stuck, but I get stuck on stuff and bring it back. Sticks, leaves, grass, because I kind of want to find out what's out there. And a swim bait like this is a good lure to do that with. Relatively weedless though. If I really wanted to get stuck, I'd throw the trap out there and drag it across the bottom. But Wes was saying there's not a whole lot of stuff out there to really get snagged on, which is good. It'll be an effortless pond to fish, hopefully. And sorry, Taylor, for the very harsh lighting this morning. So y'all can see, it is blown out like crazy. Honestly, it has a very eerie feeling to it though. I think I left my sunglasses in the car, so I'm gonna have to get those once the sun actually gets up so I can see if there's any beds. But one thing you have to do in ponds like this that don't have any grass or wood or really big time drops of contours off the bank is you have to find out what depth zone the fish are biting in and then replicate that throughout the day. So if I make a super long cast out there and get a bite, obviously fish are out there in the middle. But if I'm retrieving and I get a bite, 15 feet from shore, and the next fish is also 15 feet from shore, I'm gonna wholesale put a stop to making casts far beyond that, because obviously that's where the fish are sitting on that specific day. So even in ponds, you can pattern just like you do in big lakes. So one thing I'm feeling is that about 20 feet off the bank, my swim bait goes bump, 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 which means that it's rising on that standard drop that a lot of ponds have. I'd say it's right about there. It's probably where that drop starts. And so I'm guessing, again, with no grass in this body of water, that area right there is probably where my bites are gonna come. I'm seeing some white circles, but they look more like domes from tilapia than circles of bass beds. So I don't think they're spawning quite yet. Let's go ahead and try the lipless out. I think I might hate looking into the sun more than you guys do. Oh, it's so bright. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got one. We got a nice one. Oh, first cast on the red lipless, right where the drop happened in the pond. Get in here. Okay. First cast with the lipless crankbait, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera so we have some better lighting on this fish. And that right there is a success at pond number 114 on the 1/4 ounce red eye shad. Beautiful little Florida strain, 2-pounder. I'd say not big enough to put on the board on my Fishing Chaos tournament, but Wes did bring, he's taking photos, he did bring the measuring board. I'm not gonna say in case we catch a big one, for when we catch a big one. Let's go.
Good start, dude.
That's technically a success.
That'll work.
And as much as I would like to have the camera pointed towards my hook set, that was way too bright. Oh, this looks much better. There you go, Taylor. Now, I still hate looking into the sun, but at least y'all aren't. This is my last cast before getting my sunglasses and taking you guys with me to that edge of the pond, so at least we're not looking straight into the sun, because it's gonna be probably 3 hours before it's high enough to not hurt my eyes. But I do like that the lipless got a bite. Even though I'm not sure if they have any crawfish, at least red crawfish in here. Red is just a great color to trigger fish in the pre-spawn. Let's get my sunglasses. Okay, we're back. Look at this lighting. That's much better. We are now fishing what I guess you'd consider to be the dam, but I don't think it's any like deeper in this area than it is where we started. But let's see, cast it out there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, nope. Still about 5 to 6 feet deep out there. Oh, ooh, ooh, I just had a fish right here eat me. What was that? It was right next to this circle, which I think is a tilapia bed. But tilapias don't eat lures, so I don't know what I could have just had. Something just rat-a-tat-tatted my swim bait. Maybe they want something louder and red today, which wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me per the conditions, but who knows? They're bass. No way. Oh my goodness. I told y'all. For some reason, they want this today. Oh, but that's also the size of what's hitting my swim bait, so no wonder they're not getting it in their mouth. Once again, though, the bite came right on that drop from, 4 feet to probably 6 feet. It's so funny to me how so many ponds might look different on the outside, but oftentimes it all boils down to the exact same thing, which is find the differences in the bottom composition and you'll find the fish. Yeah, now the sun's higher, I can definitely see we've got a lot of tilapia beds. One of y'all messaged me a few days ago, say, hey, I live in Florida, I'm seeing a ton of beds but no bass, where'd they go? It's probably not largemouth, it's probably tilapia, especially if they look like these big old asteroid craters with big old white sides to them. Yeah, it's not a bass bed. Gosh, but once that sun gets up, I'm thinking we're gonna have to drag something a little bit because it is just so still, so sunny, and so it's gonna be so hot. I'm feeling it already. I should probably be walking down the bank right now, fishing a little faster. I keep seeing something bust right here. It's probably a tilapia though. Yeah, big old crater bed right here. There's one. All right. A wee guy. A little squirt. This has been the size that I've been seeing cruising up shallow, so not surprised that I finally caught one. And even though I've thrown all 3 of my moving baits, swim bait, vibrating jig, and trap, they only want the trap so far. But that is 3 fish, not a skunk, so not gonna complain. But I am gonna move y'all down the bank. I'm also gonna change shoes because I hiked out here in these AFCO decked boots because I didn't want to get my legs all wet from the dew, but I'm not wearing any socks, so they are hurting my legs. Oh, free the dogs. That's better. There's one. There we go. Not a big one, but a bass nonetheless, and he's gone. So the rinky dinks are biting today so far. But once again, that exact same spot is where all these bites are coming, where that drop is about 25 feet off the bank. So when I get to dragging something around here in a little bit, once the sun is up, I'm gonna focus solely on that strike zone right there and nowhere else, especially after seeing all the tilapia beds up shallow. I don't think they have their fresh spawn yet, and so there's no reason for a bass to be up there. They can't eat a 4-pound tilapia. Goodness, that one hit it hard. But yeah, that was a crappie. That was not a largemouth bass. So obviously this pond's got quite a few fish in it. There we go, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a bigger one. Not huge, but a nicer fish. Back-to-back cast, crappie and then bass. Get in here, baby. I'm kind of liking this whole lipless on a spinning rod thing. Let's go. Oh, that's a good way to get hooked. It's a good way to get a hook. Stop it. 1/4 ounce red eye shad to the dome. He might have had a hook in the mouth when I first got him, but ended off in the head. Either way, a good fish. But there's giants in here. I'm gonna catch a giant. Is a 1/4 ounce red eye shad the way to go to catch one? I don't know. But I'm getting bit and I'm having fun. So don't change it up yet, Tyler. 2 casts, 3 casts in a row. Oh my goodness. They are stacked right there. Oh, hold up, whoa. Hey, I'm fishing here. All right, they are stacked. Oh gosh, dang it. I almost got hooked. How do I get that lucky? You, my friend, were almost the cause of a bad day. I'm bleeding, but somehow the hook did not go past the barb. I have the best luck with that kind of stuff. And it's gonna run out again. But my luck of catching fish right there is on. They are obviously stacked in this little section right here. Or at least they were. Keep on moving. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, it is crystal clear at this point that they want a lipless crankbait. They do not want a swim bait or a vibrating jig. They want this thing right here. And while they're not the size that I want, I have a feeling that the bigger ones are probably also gonna be in this kind of mood today. Not a giant, but a beautiful bass. And I'm grateful for him. And I'm kind of having fun with a rattle trap on a spinning rod. It's fun to feel that thump of the rattle trap and then all of a sudden it stops. And fighting them on a 6.6 medium is fun. And I've been impressed so far. I've caught peacock bass and largemouth on this rod right here, the Traveler. For being a 3-piece rod, it's really light, well balanced, and sensitive. So hopefully they add more rods to this lineup, at least a 6.6 bait caster to fit in the same exact tube. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, he spit it. Uh-oh, oh my goodness. Come show the camera that one, Wes. Gosh. Straight up Lunkerville, USA over here. One sec, hold up. They're not ready.
Ready for this monster?
Yes.
Check out that hog right there.
Gosh, I'm in the presence of greatness right now. Well, you're throwing a crappie bait, no wonder. As always, I'll have the exact tackle I'm using linked down in the video description. Those links, I know you're probably sick of me saying this, they are affiliate links. So if you want to support the channel and you buy stuff on Tackle Warehouse, just click any of my links down in the video description. You don't even got to buy the exact product I have linked, but it gets your entire cart accredited to my behalf. So doing that would greatly help my job continue to be this. There's one. Man, he ate it about 5 times. How on earth did a fish just barely bigger than this swim bait get it in its mouth? Like, I didn't land him, but I got close. I'm just wondering where the big ones are. Wes has caught some giants in this pond. They're eluding me today. Gosh, there's one. There's one. There's one. Oh my gosh. Big one. Big one. Big one. That camera's about to die too. Holy cow. Holy cow. I just said it. I just said it. Come on. Get in here. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. What a giant. What a giant. What a giant. Come on. Yes! Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. What a stinking giant on the swim bait. Down the mouth. This, holy cow. One of the healthiest and most beautiful bass I've ever caught in my entire life. That is stinking awesome. This camera's about to die. I gotta get a new battery. What a giant. Yes. Gosh. What a dang giant. Swim bait, roof of the mouth was not coming off. That thing is huge. Gonna hold her in the water while Wes gets my camera bag. What an absolute Florida strain mega. Not even that long, maybe like 22, 23 inches, but just the girth on this fish is crazy. Zeroed out. It is looking like, oh, no way. 8 pounds, 9 ounces. What a stinking chunk. An 8-pound, 9-ounce Florida mega going on the board for the Fishing Chaos online tournament that I run. All right, 23-inch bass. A 23-inch, 8-pound, was it 8.9 or 8.8? 8.9. 8.9, 8-pound, 9-ounce, absolute behemoth. All right, let's get her back in the water. All right, big girl. Go back to doing what you were doing, which is obviously getting ready for the spawn because she is fat. There she goes. Gosh. Yes! Yes! That's the fish we came here for. Thank you, buddy. Come on.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, leading up to this, I was a little
Let's go.
I was a little worried. Like, I didn't want to invite you all the way out here and have you get like completely skunked of like what I know is
yeah,
in here,
yeah.
You know?
That was sick.
That's on it. Like, I've caught one over 9, but that's like one of the biggest ones. If that's like 8.5
Well, this
pounds
is
right
this
there.
is the time of the year to catch the bigger bass in here. Well, folks, that was a time and a half, maybe a time and 3/4. I think I had just lost a tiny fish on the swim bait, and then the very next cast catch a giant. And Wes was telling me that he catches all his big ones here a lot closer to the shore than you would think. And I was like, there's no way. There's tilapia beds and there's just kind of like a bunch of junk fish and carp. They're gonna be out there in the middle. Lo and behold, he was right. So every pond truly is different, and I come into these ponds with a preconceived notion of how it's going to be, and I'm usually somewhat right. I can catch fish, find success. But when it comes to catching big ones, you have to be specific with what you're doing, and I don't think I was fishing specific enough with a big fish lure like the 5-inch swim bait, and the second I did, I got a giant. So I'm going to fish for another half hour, and if I catch another big one, fantastic. If not, I'm over the moon. This has been a major success in my book. I think what I'm gonna do now though is take off the lipless, because I'm done just catching fish. I wanna catch big ones. So I'm gonna take off the lipless and tie on a drop shot in its place. I think my leader is long enough. Yeah, it's long enough. Because if I get bumped as I'm retrieving the swim bait but don't hook up, I know there's a fish on that cast, so I can go right back in with the drop shot. And maybe it's a big one that just didn't want to commit to it, although seeing how the last one ate, I can't imagine that's going to be the case. But if it is, maybe a drop shot is what that fish needs to bite. 1/4 ounce red eye shad, you've been good to me today. Gonna grab my favorite drop shot setup here, the VMC Redline size 1 finesse Nico hook, 1/8 ounce tungsten drop shot sinker, and the Strike King Super Finesse Worm. That sucker is a bass slayer and lasts all day. Give it a nice Texas rig, and you are ready to slay. Slay queen. I'm gonna get a cast out there whilst I set my camera up. When your rod is sitting there is usually when they bite. This should not be my first resort today though, seeing how they've been biting big things. It's about as parallel as I can get right here. Zinger, this reel cast so far. The Custom Pro and the Custom with the Paramag braking system is legit. I mean, this thing can bomb, hardly ever gets backlashes, and for the price point, I don't know if there's a better $180 reel on the market than this thing. And it's so small, like y'all don't even know until you feel one. It is the smallest, most palmable reel I've ever used. So if you've got giant Goliath, you know, Tim Duncan sized hands, probably don't use this reel. But if you're normal size like me, this thing is so easy to fish with. Gosh, come on. Now, not a big one, but he hit it and ran towards me so fast. Y'all saw that. Good grief. My friend, you are an ambitious fella. Little 1 pounder eating this thing. And I mean, it got him in the face. He wasn't getting off. When you got a big heavy hook and you give it a big heavy hook set, also known as give them the business, fish will not come off when you do that. Which, by the way, if you like that motto, give them the business, you live your life that way, I've got a t-shirt, super comfortable, comfort color, on my merch shop. I'll have it linked below. But it just feels so nice when you're slowly retrieving something and all of a sudden, it's like your line went slack, a fish ate it and ran towards you. Normally, that's a big one. This time, not so much. And I know I've talked about it in videos before, but I want to discuss it again real quick. If you have conditions like this, sunny or partly sunny with zero wind at all, it's rare that a largemouth bass will bite a fast-moving, loud, aggressive lure like a spinnerbait, a vibrating jig, a topwater, a buzz bait. Usually, you got to go a little more finesse, even though you can still throw moving type baits. Like a swim bait is still a moving bait, but it's just not reactionary at all. They're either hunting it down and gobbling it up. And so that's why I'm really confident in this bait, especially in Florida, because if we have no wind, this water clarity, and this big of fish, there's really no better lure to go with, goodness, than the paddle tail swim bait, either pre-rigged like this one here with a harness, or like a 5-inch rage swimmer with a big hook on top, an 8/0 beast hook, something like that. Is just the best way to go to stay weedless, but also fish a moving bait up above whatever's down there. So that's why I've got confidence, especially in Florida and just kind of grass lakes and ponds in general, in paddle tail swim baits, at least ones that don't have the hook on the bottom. There we go. I knew he was small. Whenever you get a bite on this thing and it doesn't like wah, 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 they're small. Haven't done this in a while. Single scoop. And one casting or angle technique y'all can use in your ponds is, especially if you find the depth zone they're in, when you stop and pick an area to start fishing, I have a camera that I have to set up, so I kind of pick, 30 yards sections. I'm gonna make one cast into that strike zone as parallel as I can. So to me, that's like what is it, a 20 degree cast this way, and then I'll kind of fan, and then finish the area with my 6th or 7th cast that direction where I started, and then move another 30 yards. So that's how I'm able to efficiently work down the bank, and I'm not just making kind of aimless casts. Goodness. You are not big. You are not big. How did you even get hooked? I didn't set the hook at all. That's impressive. This guy's got skill. The bad kind of skill, but skill nonetheless. Well, folks, a few more little sections, and we're gonna call it a day. So at the end of a lot of my videos, I say, my goodness, folks, what a day. But today deserves a straight up, my goodness gracious, me oh my, because this pond was full of giant bass. Only caught one today, saw another one, but I'm looking forward to filming more videos here before I leave town. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. My goal is to help you become better bass anglers. And as I catch big ones, I think I accomplished that today. If you want to check out the tackle I used, the exact swim bait, the exact reel, I don't know if this rod is for sale on Tackle Warehouse, but if it is, it'll be linked down below, or my favorite rod that I throw back at home for this swim bait. And if you like this series, my last 200 ponds episode, Whammy, will be up here in the corner, and my entire 100 pond series over in this corner. My name's Tyler. As always, it's an absolute pleasure, and we'll see y'all next time right here on TRF.